Thank you to Omaze for sponsoring this video. More about them later on. I've been driving all around the White Mountains of New Hampshire for about 5 years now. So for this video, I wanted to compile all my favorite spots and create one ultimate road trip. That way, if you only have one day to explore the White Mountains, this is everything I recommend that you do. This road trip is actually going to be a loop, so we're going to start and end in the Lincoln-Woodstock area. It's going to be just under 100 miles total, and if you did drive the whole thing without taking any stops, it would be about 2 hours. But I'm going to show you really cool places to stop, take in the scenery, do a little hike, places to eat and hang out, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm excited for the day. This is like my perfect day. I can't believe I'm working right now. This road trip is starting in Lincoln. I recommend getting breakfast at Flapjacks, and there's also plenty of shops and restaurants. Loon Mountain is also a big attraction there with their skiing and their mountain biking. We're starting off this road trip by taking the classic Kangamangas Highway, or we're going to call it the Kank for short because that's much easier. It's a 32-mile scenic highway with tons of places to pull off. I'm at my first spot of the day right now, which is the Lincoln Woods Trailhead. From here you can hike tons of mountains from 4,000 footers, or you can just take this nice flat path and walk along the Pemigewasset River. There's an awesome suspension footbridge at the beginning, which is cool to walk over. It's just a nice place to get out of the car, stretch your legs, and get some fresh air. Right now I'm at the Hancock Notch Trailhead. I really like this spot because this is where the hairpin turn is on the Kank. If you've ever seen a drone shot from this area, it looks really cool. And of course, all these places are going to be especially beautiful in the fall when the foliage is in full effect. But right now it's like the last week of November and it's just much more calm here. When you're here during peak foliage, it's going to be really busy and there's going to be a lot of traffic. But I really like it this time of year when it's the first little glimpses of snow and winter. Most of the time when I come to this spot, I come here to hike the Hancocks, which are two 4,000 footers. But it's also just nice to park and look because this is the view from my car right now. This right here is Sabaday Falls. This is a really cool hike. It's only 0.6 miles round trip. And this little waterfall is actually so neat that my husband likes this spot and he doesn't even like hiking that much. So it's really good, family friendly. Most people can do 0.6 miles. Really easy trail, really cool views. My next stop on the Kank is Rocky Gorge. It's another easy and accessible hike. There's a paved path leading to the gorge with a footbridge and a view of the Swift River. If you want something a little longer, you can go past the bridge and there's a 1-mile hiking trail that goes around a pond. Imagine doing this road trip in a brand new Airstream Caravelle and a Ford F-150. I'm partnering with Omaze in this video to give you the chance to win that prize, all while supporting an amazing cause, the Bob Woodruff Family Foundation. This is a luxurious Airstream with stainless steel appliances, heating, air conditioning, and is roomy enough for 4 people. The truck is a Ford F-150 Lariat 4x4 and all the taxes and shipping are included. I'm only out here for one day doing this road trip, but imagine if you had this set up and you had even more time to explore the White Mountains. Omaze works with a lot of different nonprofits and has raised millions of dollars for charity. By entering into the sweepstakes at Omaze, you're supporting the Bob Woodruff Family Foundation. They ensure that our nation's impacted veterans, service members, and their family and caregivers get the highest level of support for as long as they need. So for your chance to win an Airstream Caravelle and a Ford F-150 and to support a great cause, head to omaze.com/TaylorHiker and enter now. This closes on December 30th, and I promise you don't want to miss out on this. Alright, what's a road trip to New Hampshire without checking out at least one covered bridge? Here we are at the Albany covered bridge. When you're in season, you can actually drive through it, but since it's winter, it's a really quick walk from the parking lot, so let's check it out. So far, I gotta say that this is my favorite part of the day. This covered bridge is really neat. I'm the only one here, and it's just a New Hampshire staple, I think. After completing the 34 miles of the Kink, you end up in the Conway, North Conway area. These are huge towns and there's a lot going on. This is probably a good time to grab lunch and to check out some of the shops. Chet and I took a scenic train ride here once. This area does get pretty busy, so all I did was pop into REI and then I hit the road again. Right now I'm doing what's going to be the biggest hike of the day. I'm here in Crawford Notch hiking Mount Willard. It's going to be about 3.2 miles round trip, and the view from up top is going to be amazing. It's one of the classic views of the Whites and one of the most popular places for photo ops. I feel like if you googled hikes in the White Mountains, you probably would have seen this view before. This view of Crawford Notch is amazing. You can see the train tracks, mountains on either sides, and way out in the distance. It's a nice summit to hang out on too. There's a lot of room. It took me 44 minutes to get up here at a nice leisurely pace, but now I'm gonna head back down because I still want to do more hikes today and see more things. I think one of the coolest spots in the White Mountains is Mount Washington, which is the highest point in the whole Northeast. It's a beast of a mountain. There are a couple ways to get to the top. If you wanted to include Mount Washington in your road trip, you can hike it, but that's going to take hours and hours. There's the Cog Railway, there's the Auto Road, there's a couple other things you can do. But if you don't want to go up Mount Washington, right now I am in the perfect spot to park and look at Mount Washington and the rest of the Presidential Range. You can also see the Mount Washington Resort in front of it, which I think looks really cool. This is a really nice spot. Here I am on the summit of Artist Bluff. I believe this is probably the most popular shorter hike in the White Mountains area. It is absolutely beautiful with this view of Franconia Notch. It's pretty short. It only took me 7 minutes to get up here, but the trail does get steep. But I do not think you can beat this view. This is a really popular spot in the fall to see the foliage, but I think this is really pretty year-round. Seeing all the slopes on Cannon Mountain covered in snow looks really cool. Now the road trip has taken us back to where we started. I'm in Woodstock. I definitely recommend checking out the breweries and the restaurants here to end your day. I hope you enjoyed my ultimate road trip, a road trip around the White Mountains of New Hampshire that can easily be done in a day. Hope you enjoyed my scenic spots and my little hikes that I went on. I really enjoy making these types of videos and hopefully you learned something. So with all that said, happy hiking and have a good one. I'll see you next week. Bye. There's been a lost hiker on Franconia Ridge for a couple days now, and it's really sad seeing the helicopter go around, still looking for her.